Hey everyone, Tony D with another hot take. Oh my God, will impeachment ever end? I don't think so. Today's, I hesitate to call it a big announcement, but the Democrats seem to be already queuing up the next impeachment thing. So I guess they think impeachment's going so well that they could do it again. Apparently it stems, or they're trying to delay impeachment long enough so they could tack on these charges. So the deal is that Trump ordered some of the guys in his administration not to testify and give up evidence, which apparently is his purview to do. And they're saying that that is an attempted cover up. The problem is it all has to do with the Mueller investigation, which didn't bear any fruit. And on top of that, the original FISA warrant, which launched the whole damn thing, is maybe completely poisoned anyway. So the fact that the FISA warrant is bad, those of you who, like me, watched a million episodes of Law and Order know the phrase "fruit of the poison tree," and so if it's a legal case, which it's not, again, it's political. If it was legal, it would probably be thrown out. But since it's political, it's all about the votes, and the Democrats don't have the votes. You can pile on as many charges as you want at this point, Democrats. Not only do you not have the votes, you do not have the popularity to push it through. Like, part of the reason the Democrats are doing this is they hope and pray that some Republicans will feel the pressure and jump ship. It's not going to happen because it's quite the opposite. If anything, the Democrats are feeling the pressure to jump ship because already you had two Democrats jump ship and one voted present, and that was Tulsi Gabbard. So you have this incredibly weak case on partisan lines, and your only hope is that some Republicans jump ship. The Republicans who have a 95% approval rating of Trump. It's not going to happen. It's just so unrealistic. So you can pile on as many charges as you want. It's not going to matter. It's just more charges for him to go, well, nope, not guilty of that either. It all goes to credibility. And the Democrats and the media, they don't have, the only people that still consider them, my dog is running like crazy. That's the noise in the background. She's a little cooped up, I guess, or showing off. I'm not sure what. Joan, would you like to be in the video? No. Anyhow, my God, she's tiring me out just watching it. It's totally distracting, Joan. I'm trying to do a very serious video about politics, and you're running around like a little maniac. Anyhow, at this point, I don't see any good move for the Democrats. If you told me that this was all a plan to completely destroy the Democratic Party and the Republicans had set it in motion somehow, I'd have to give that some serious thought, because the moves these people make on the Democratic Party, thank God I'm not a Democrat anymore. I'd be tearing my hair out here. I mean, just the idiot moves they make. It would have been simple for the Democrats to defeat a Donald Trump. I mean, it should have been. It should be simple to just get your party in line and, just torture Trump with an inquiry and not actually bring the charges. And yet they keep doubling down, and every time they do, they just step right in it, and Trump laughs at them. This impeachment is going nowhere. Will you please stop shooting yourself in the foot, Democrats? At this point, the best you could do, I would say, I guess you could withdraw the charges and never hand them in and just announce that you're not going to hand them in because you know he'll be acquitted, and say that you're not going to hand him in because you know that McConnell won't be fair, and maybe you get a little mileage out of that, but beyond that, I don't see any move. I mean, you hand in the impeachment charges, McConnell quits, and everybody forgets about it. You know, what are you doing? What is the plan here? And I say that as a libertarian. I'm not going to vote for you, but I still want a party to stand up to the Republicans, or maybe what we need to have happen is we need to wipe the Democrats off the face of the earth, that they just get wiped out in the next election. And there's so many Republicans that the Republicans actually have a split, and we get maybe a bunch of them go libertarian and they become the new Democrats, right? It'll be the old Republicans and the libertarians who will be like the Democrats because we're pretty socially liberal, even though we're very fiscal conservatives. And I mean, if you're gonna have all right wingers anyway, I mean, you could do a whole lot worse than libertarians. We're very pro freedom and let you do whatever the hell you want, and we want to legalize pot, drugs, prostitution, and you're probably not going to agree with our gun stuff, but sure. I mean, you're gonna get gun guys anyway, it looks like. Now, there was another video today by Tim Pool saying that, mathematically speaking, so many immigrants are changing the math in the federal elections because the way they figure things out, it's strictly by population, and by flooding areas with immigrants, you end up flooding them with essentially Democratic votes. But this is part of the reasons for Trump's immigration plan, is to slow things down to the point at which it's just a trickle of what it was before. So, and the reality is, California has a ton of problems, and what is not helping California is jamming more immigrants into it. I mean, you've got tens of thousands of homeless people on the streets of LA living in absolute squalor. You run the risk of disease and all sorts of disgusting things happening in San Francisco and all these major cities. It seems like it would behoove you to stop immigration to California for a while, at least, until you could get a handle on everything that's going on in your state. Until you can get, if you're going to house poor people and that's your plan, then you shouldn't add more people to the system until you house the ones you have. And then at that point, take in more people. So maybe you just stop immigration for like 5 years and then fix the problems you have. And then once most of the immigrants and homeless people have homes or whatever, then you go, okay, now we'll take in X amount of immigrants a year. And then you could continue the same policies. Like, I don't see what's so wrong with that. That seems like a reasonable response to the problem. It's like, people on the left side of politics want to help people, but I always explain it like this. If your neighbor was losing his house and you had the money to help, you might help them. You might say, well, here, take some of my money. I'll get you through a couple of mortgage payments until you get back on your feet, or it could be a loan, whatever. I don't want to see you lose your house. I'm going to help, or I'm going to hold a dinner and everybody will pay money and then we'll collect the money and save your house. Something like that. You could do that. But if your neighbor was losing his house and you were on the verge of losing your house, you wouldn't put yourself in debt to save your neighbor's house. You wouldn't endanger your house to save his. You wouldn't You wouldn't say, "Oh, okay, I'm about to be if I miss one payment, I'll be foreclosed. Here, let you take the money." You wouldn't do that because you'd be shooting yourself in the foot. And that's how I feel a lot of leftists are with a lot of their problems. Like they're willing to hurt themselves, and all they end up doing is making the problem worse. So adding more people to the immigration pile, at least in California, seems like a really dumb idea. Just because, everybody out there is virtue signaling how woke they are about immigrants. If you can't take care of them, then you shouldn't invite them into the state. Seems to me, seems irresponsible to do that. If you truly want to take care of people, you should be able to afford to do it. You shouldn't just open up the doors to your house and say everybody in, and then, realize your overcapacity and go, well, we're still good people. Let's let more people in. No, you can't. You're already over capacity. So, this, I think, is an issue. And, when it comes to the Republicans and Democrats and this whole impeachment thing, it's politics. It's just nothing but politics. And the kind of politics that continue to just, there's so much worse things going on in this world. We still have problems in the Middle East. We're still got a million bases everywhere. We still can't pay for things. These are the problems we need to address. Not that did Donald Trump maybe kind of say something untoward to the Ukrainians. Like, that's not really an issue. No one cares. No one believes it. And Biden did it first anyway. And no one cared about him. So I'm so sick of impeachment. Just end it. Just end it.